Severe weather conditions continue to wreak havoc across central South Africa, as heavy rains and flooding in northwest claimed the life of a child and disrupted communities, roads, and schooling. The young victim was swept away by fast-moving water while playing outdoors. She and friends were reportedly playing outside around 17:30 on Sunday afternoon, March 5th, when she was swept by low current and drowned. Police divers were called and later discovered her lifeless body, said Northwest Community Safety and Transport Management spokesperson Oshibeng Alpheus. Persistent rainfall in the Dr Ruth Segomotsi Mompati district, including Vryburg, Schweizer-Reneke and Reivilo, has caused widespread flooding, forcing the closure of key transport routes. The N14 between Vryburg and Kuruman remains shut due to dangerous water levels, while the N18 between Vryburg and Taung, which had also been closed, has since reopened and is drivable. A number of villages have been severely affected by the floods, including Kgomotso, Madithamaga, Ga-Taote, Thota-ya-Tau, Spitskop, Mammutla, Kameelput, Choseng, Mokasa, Mokgareng, Matlapaneng, Vaaltyn, Tamasikwa and Takaneng. The areas which were also inaccessible but were declared safe on Monday included Schweizer-Reneke, Madithamaga, and Mountain View. Some local bridges have collapsed, having been submerged for almost a week. These include the Mokgareng Bridge on the road between Taung and Reivilo and in Schweizer-Reneke village, said Alpheus. Authorities have also raised concern over motorists who continue to ignore road closures and safety warnings. The challenge still being experienced on the N14 between Vryburg and Kuruman is that some motorists continue to ignore advisories and warning barricades, and some have even been threatening towards law enforcement officers. All these, unfortunately, with near catastrophic consequences. On several occasions, some of these incalcitrant motorists had been stranded midway in the water puddle and had to be rescued by law enforcement officers. Meanwhile, several learners attending weekend and incubation camps in Taung were unable to return home due to unsafe conditions. The Northwest Department of Education confirmed affected learners are safe and are being accommodated at host schools, with camps extended until travel conditions improve. Damage to infrastructure, particularly bridges in rural villages, has made it difficult for many learners and teachers to commute. Education spokesperson Vuyo Manchule stressed safety remained the priority. Principals have been instructed not to compel learners or staff to travel under risky conditions. No learner should attempt to cross flooded roads or damaged bridges. Schools are to activate recovery plans to make up for lost teaching and learning time once it is safe to resume. The district office will support schools with catch-up programs. The department has urged parents and guardians to keep children at home where travel is unsafe and to remain in close communication with school authorities for further updates. Meanwhile, law enforcement agencies in the Northwest have warned motorists not to cross flooded roads and bridges after police divers had to rescue a number of drivers trapped in their vehicles or swept away. The worst affected areas in the province include areas around Vryburg and Taung, following heavy rain over the long weekend. The N14 between Vryburg and Kuruman, the N18 near Tigerkloof, as well as the road between Schweizer-Reneke and Bloemhof have all been closed. Spokesperson for the Provincial Department of Community Safety, Alpheus Kunyaditsi, says the Tamasikwa, Takaneng and villages are completely isolated and unreachable due to submerged bridges cutting off all road access. Taung Dam is reported to be overflowing, which may exacerbate the situation in surrounding villages of Cokonyane, Modimong, Manthe and Kolong. Law enforcement alongside other government stakeholders are still assisting motorists and assessing the situation. It has unfortunately come to the attention of the department that some motorists have ignored an advisory and drove through flooded roads. Some of these motorists were stranded midway and were ultimately rescued by the law enforcement officers. The police dog unit will join the rescue team deployed to Metswetsaneng village in Kuruman in the Northern Cape to search for a man who went missing on Thursday last week. Another man's body was found over the weekend after they were swept away when they attempted to cross a submerged bridge following heavy rains, which led to flooding in the village. Provincial Police spokesperson Sherelle Ehlers says the SAPS are still investigating an inquest into the accident. The rescue team will be joined by members of Uppington K9. After encountering dangerous conditions, the team managed to locate and retrieve the body of a 44-year-old man on Sunday, the 3rd of May 2026, at approximately 1300. Search efforts are continuing to locate the body of a second male, presumed drowned. Mothibistad SAPS are investigating an inquest into the incident. The SAPS have once again urged the community to be vigilant at all times and to steer clear of flooded areas, bridges, and areas with strong water currents are to be avoided. Meanwhile, a catastrophic weather system tore through the mining town of Kathu in the Northern Cape on May 5, 2026, leaving a trail of destruction, widespread power outages, and significant structural damage. Emergency services have been working around the clock as the community grapples with what meteorologists are calling one of the most intense localized storm events in the region's recent history. The storm began in the late afternoon when a massive supercell developed over the Kalahari, moving rapidly toward the Gamagara Local Municipality. Within minutes, the sky turned an ominous shade of charcoal, and the town was hit by a combination of gale-force winds and a torrential downpour that reduced visibility to near zero. Local residents reported tennis ball-sized hail that shattered windows and dented vehicles parked in the open. The sheer volume of water overwhelmed the town's drainage systems, leading to rapid flash flooding in residential areas and the main business district. The impact on infrastructure has been severe. Several roofs were completely ripped off houses in the older suburbs, while modern complexes suffered significant glass breakage and water ingress. High-velocity winds toppled several medium-voltage electricity pylons, plunging Kathu and surrounding mining operations into total darkness. Eskom technicians are currently on site, but officials warn that full restoration could take days. The N14 highway, a critical artery for the region, was temporarily blocked by fallen trees and debris, causing massive logistical delays for the local iron ore mines. The South African Weather Service, SAWS, had issued a level 6 warning earlier in the day, but the intensity of the storm exceeded many expectations. Emergency response teams, ERT, from the nearby Sishan mine joined forces with local fire departments to assist trapped motorists and evacuate families whose homes were deemed unsafe due to flooding. "Our priority is the safety of the citizens," said a spokesperson for the local disaster management center. "We are setting up temporary shelters at the community hall for those displaced. We urge everyone to stay indoors and avoid crossing any flooded roads or bridges." This event follows a series of erratic weather patterns in the Northern Cape. Similar flooding was recorded in February 2025, raising concerns among climate experts about the increasing frequency of extreme weather in semi-arid regions. The SWASA live weather cameras, which monitored the storm until the power failed, provided crucial data that will be used to study the storm's unique microburst characteristics. For a town that serves as the iron ore capital, the suspension of mining activities due to the storm represents a significant economic blow. However, the spirit of the Kalahari people remains resilient, with neighbors already seen helping each other clear debris and secure damaged properties. The South African Weather Service, SAWS, has issued multiple severe weather warnings for several parts of South Africa. The Weather Service said South Africans can expect widespread disruptive rainfall, flooding, and dangerous conditions, with storm warnings at levels 2 to 8 in effect from May 5th to 7th, 2026. The most serious conditions are expected in the Western Cape, Eastern Cape, and KwaZulu-Natal, where disaster response teams have been placed on high alert. An intense cut-off low-pressure system is expected to result in scattered to widespread showers and rain over the eastern parts of the Western Cape from Wednesday into Thursday, it said. A yellow level 2 warning for disruptive rainfall is in place for the central interior of the Western Cape and the Northern Cape. An orange level 6 warning is in place over the central Karoo and western parts of the Garden Route. South Africa's warning levels range from 1 to 10. The situation has escalated further along the coast, with the Garden Route expected to bear the brunt of the storm. Severe impacts are possible over the eastern parts of the Garden Route, including George, Knysna, B2, Mossel Bay, Oudtshoorn, with an orange level 8 warning for disruptive rainfall in effect, SAWS said. Such rainfall volumes significantly increase the risk of flooding, particularly in low-lying vulnerable areas. SAWS warned that impacts could include flooding of roads, formal and informal settlements, which may lead to damage to property and infrastructure. It added that some communities could become temporarily inaccessible, while major roads may be flooded or damaged, causing travel delays and disruptions. The risk of mudslides and rockfalls is also elevated, especially along mountainous routes. Authorities have cautioned that infrastructure damage, livelihood losses, and livestock harm are possible outcomes if conditions worsen. SAWS has urged the public to remain vigilant and take precautionary measures. Listen for regular weather updates via radio and / or social media. Postpone travel arrangements until it is safer to travel, it said. Avoid crossing rivers and swollen streams. Monitor the weather conditions and, if need be, identify areas to safely store valuable items from floodwater, it said. Further inland, parts of Gauteng, including Johannesburg, are also expected to experience severe storms, with yellow level 2 and 4 warnings in place. Residents in these areas have been advised to exercise caution, particularly on the roads. Be cautious on the roads and avoid crossing rivers and swollen streams where the water is above your ankles. If trapped in a vehicle during a flood, abandon it and climb to higher ground. In buildings, move valuables to a safe place above the expected flood level. Insurance experts have also highlighted the heightened risks posed by prolonged cold and wet conditions. Santam noted that preventative maintenance can play a key role in limiting damage to homes. For areas hit by downpours and flooding, precautionary measures, such as checking your roof for leaks and clearing your gutters, can help ensure proper water drainage, said Marius Kemp, head of personal underwriting at Santam. He added that colder temperatures can worsen the situation by affecting plumbing systems. The cold weather contributes to the bursting of water pipes, Kemp said. He explained that freezing conditions can cause water inside pipes to expand, increasing pressure and leading to cracks or leaks. Vehicle owners have also been advised to take extra care. Naked Insurance warned motorists to avoid flooded roads wherever possible and to adjust their driving habits in heavy rain. The insurance company advised that motorists driving in heavy rain should slow down and maintain a safe following distance. In low visibility, turn on your hazards to ensure other drivers can see you.